I got more stuff than you. I got more than the other dude too. All that junk you're throwing out just might be my treasure found. I won't stop from bringing home another thing that I could own. I want this, so I need that. Baby, you know I'm the old pack rat. Baby, you know I'm the old pack rat.
We're in an undisclosed location, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in an underground bunker. Today we're going to take you to a spot that is for sensitive eyes only, a place that is not open to the public. It is open to you pack rats for a few minutes today. Let's take a look at some classified records.
I got a good-looking mama living down my street. I could kind of tell she's sweet on me. With a little girl smile, devil in her eye. She wrote down her number, said call me sometime.
My name is Paul C. Mawhinney. I love to collect records. Been doing it most of my life. Started when I was about 8 or 9 years old. All different kinds of music. From Frankie Lane to everybody.
Paul? 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 Paul.
Are you looking for me?
Yeah, I am. Are you the man with the vinyl? Hey!
Hello, Ben.
How are you?
Very
Good to see
well.
you. Paul.
Yes.
You know I'm a musician,
Yes, I do.
so you know I'm in seventh heaven here. I mean, can I apply for a job? Can I sweep the floors?
I wish pretty soon it's all going to be gone.
Okay, so what do you mean?
It's time for me to retire and time to find a home for this because I'm going to be 70 in September.
Well, I've brought my pickup truck from Georgia, so let's get this thing loaded up.
Do you know how many pickup trucks you'd need?
Quite a few. A buddy of mine was telling me, you know, about you, of course. He was asking for a Rubber Soul by the Beatles, and I just, you know, that's kind of a semi-rare record. You wouldn't have anything like that.
Oh, there's at least a half a dozen up here, sure. I can show that to you.
Paul, how did all this start? How did you get involved in
Well, it was a hobby in the early days, but then I realized how important it was once I started getting quantities of things. And then I realized that even more important than having the records, cataloging them and having all the information was probably just as important, if not more, for future generations. So I started cataloging everything. There's Rubber Soul right here.
Look at that. How many copies you got?
About 6, I think. 2, 4, 6.
How many records do you have here?
Well, I have 1 million albums, and I have about 1.5 million 45s.
How are you different than other record collectors?
Well, first of all, you know, there are a lot of people that have piles of records, but my records are all organized and computerized. I created the Music Master database for this stuff, so in seconds you can get a record by the title, by the artist, by the label, and it's accessible. When you come in and ask for something, you get an answer in seconds. Most places, they have to look for hours. That's part of the game, you know, out there. But this is an archive. This isn't really a retail store. This area here is the archive. This retail store was out in the front of the building, and the customers could cruise through that themselves. And we were always here to serve them. Here I was in a suit and tie, and I'd go into a guy's cellar and be rooting through boxes that were down there for 30 years.
When Pack Rats returns, we dive deeper into the archive. I want this, so I need that. Baby, you know I'm the old pack.
I went to work for Morris Paper Company, and I was out on the road. And part of being on the road is you had a chance to meet and greet people. And part of my meeting and greeting anybody had to do with music and records. And first thing you know, I started discovering piles of records. And that's the way I bought them. Here I was in a suit and tie, and I'd go into a guy's cellar and be rooting through boxes that were down there for 30 years. You don't know what's in those boxes until you open them, and boy, that dust is nice. I had about 160,000 records in my house, and my wife kept saying to me, "You can't even get near the laundry tubs." Most of the stuff was in the basement. Couldn't get near the water heater. She said, "You got to get that stuff out of my house."
And I said, "Well, here's a good deal for you. If you get them all out of here, why don't you just open up a music store?"
I said, "You know, that's a pretty good idea."
And I said, "In fact, I have a name that you could call it."
She said, "Call it RECORD-RAMA." And I said, "That's it." And I went out the next day and started looking for a storeroom.
So he just continually bought and bought and bought, and he didn't turn down anything. And that's how the collection came to be.
You know, our show's called Pack Rats, and this looks pretty damn organized to be a pack rat.
Well, you're right in the middle of the pack rat area. This is the pack rat.
Okay, I can see that.
Everything back here, I have over 25 copies of each record. This is what I call surplus.
Your collection, is there another one of its kind?
Not really. I mean, nobody's as organized as I am and computerized as I am. And I've been doing it for 42 years, so it's pretty tough to be that organized. Most people were in it to sell records. I was in it to gather the history. There's quite a difference.
So obviously, everything in here is rare.
I would say.
Can you tell me, in your own opinion, what's your diamond? What's the one that if a place is burning, you got to grab a copy of it?
I imagine Elvis would start the collection.
Okay.
This is a gold standard 45 promotional copy. They did on a limited edition. It's very rare, and it's worth between $400 to $600. Brand new too. I mean,
that is in beautiful shape.
Never been played.
How many of those things do you have?
22 copies.
22?
The very first disc that I own, it's the first flat record ever made. This is from 1881. It's a tribute record to Teddy Roosevelt. I don't even know how to place a value on something that old. If I only have an archive copy, it's not for sale, because whoever gets the collection for a museum that we're negotiating with is going to keep all the archive copies.
Every day, every single night, I'll be right beside you. Honey, I dry your eyes and take away from